All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about something that trips up so many people in the world of pressure equipment, the technical file. But we're not just talking about putting one together. We're talking about how to build one that's absolutely bulletproof. And get this, just let this sink in for a second. The biggest reason for delays in getting that CE mark? It's usually not a problem with the engineering, the welding, or the steel. Nope, it's the paperwork. That one fact alone tells you just how critical this is. So, I have to ask you, think about your current process. Are you actually building a defensible case, like a lawyer preparing for court? Or are you just throwing a bunch of documents into a folder and, hoping for the best? Because believe me, there's a huge difference. And that's exactly what we're here to do today. We're going to walk through a complete checklist that will help you turn that folder of documents into a powerful, logical, and truly defensible argument for your CE marking. First things first, we need a little shift in mindset. Let's stop calling it a technical file for a minute. From now on, I want you to think of it as your defensible evidence pack. It's not just a collection of data. It's the core argument you're making to prove you've met every single requirement. And remember who your audience is. You're not writing this for yourself or your boss. You're writing it for the auditor. The whole point of this evidence pack is to give them the objective proof they need to look at your equipment and say, yep, this is compliant, without any hesitation. So how do you build a strong case? Well, it has to answer 4 fundamental questions, plain and simple. What is it? Which rules apply? How did you meet them? And the big one, where's the proof? If your file can clearly answer these 4 questions, you're already 90% of the way there. Okay, so let's get practical. How do we actually gather the evidence to answer those questions? This is where our checklist comes into play. We're going to break it down into 5 key sections. First up, identification and scope. You have to be crystal clear about what this file is for. I'm talking a detailed description, its operating limits, and the final as-built drawings. And crucially, you need to document your PED classification and the conformity module you chose. This really sets the entire framework for your argument. Next, we get into the brains of the operation, the design and safety justification. This is where you show your work. You need that risk analysis that proves you've thought through what could go wrong. You need the design calculations to prove it's strong enough. And you need to justify why you chose the materials you did. Now we move from theory to reality. A perfect design on paper means nothing if you can't prove you built it right. This section is all about your manufacturing plans, your welder qualifications, the NDT results, and, I can't stress this enough, complete, unbroken traceability records for all of your materials. And here it is, the moment of truth, the testing and final assessment. This is your objective proof that the thing you built actually works as designed. The pressure test report is the absolute star of this section, supported by all your dimensional checks and final inspection sign-offs. And finally, remember, your responsibility doesn't stop when the equipment ships out the door. You have to prove that you've given the end user everything they need to operate it safely. That means clear instructions, limitations, warnings about any remaining risks, and a nameplate that perfectly matches everything in your file. Okay, we've gathered all our evidence. Now for the most important part. Let's put on a different hat. Let's start thinking like the auditor, the judge who's going to review your case. What are they really looking for when they open that file? This right here is probably the most important slide in this entire explainer. A weak file is just a folder where documents go to die. A defensible file, though, creates a clear, unbreakable chain. For every single requirement in the PED, you need to show the document that addresses it, and then the record that proves you did it. Requirement to document to record. It's the golden thread. So, what do auditors do? They pull on that golden thread. They'll check your classification logic from start to finish. They'll put the final drawing right next to the test report to make sure they match perfectly. They're not interested in claims. They want cold, hard, objective evidence. And you can bet they're going to test those traceability and final assessment links the hardest. So if we know what they're looking for, we can predict where things usually go wrong. Let's look at a couple of the most common failures I see all the time and talk about the quick fix for each. This is a classic. The pressure test report says it was performed on a vessel built to drawing revision B, but the drawing in the file is revision C. To an auditor, that's a huge red flag. That chain is broken.
So what's the simple way to avoid this nightmare?
It all comes down to discipline. Before you even start your final assessment, you have to formally freeze a controlled, as-built document package. This means you lock everything down, the final drawings, the weld maps, the procedures, so you have one single consistent source of truth for the final tests. Okay, here's another big one, maybe the biggest. The auditor points to a weld on your drawing and says, "Show me the material certificate for this exact plate and the qualification for the person who welded it." If you start shuffling papers and can't find it, you've got a serious problem. So what do? You have to go back and rebuild that chain, link by link. You need to create and meticulously verify your material and weld maps to ensure every single piece of that puzzle connects directly back to a certificate or a qualification record. Yet it can be a lot of work, but it is absolutely non-negotiable.
So if you remember just one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. Your technical file is not just a bunch of paperwork you have to do. It's your CE defense. It is the structured, proactive case you build to prove, without a doubt, that your equipment is safe and fully compliant.
So once you have that solid, defensible file, what's next? Well, the next step is making it all official with the EU Declaration of Conformity and actually putting that CE mark on your product. And that's exactly what we'll be covering in our next explainer. Thanks for tuning in.